culture. It's everywhere. Advertising, TV, magazines, the press, all increasingly peddle a single ideal of beauty which insists on a particular look. Slender bodies, clear white skin, perfect youthful features. It's a stereotype that most women struggle to live up to. And if we're someone who already has a predisposition towards self-criticism or unusual sensitivity, the result can be psychologically damaging.
Right, guys, up to 3, repeat.
Racheal Baughan runs a successful model agency. If you make a living by catering to society's narrow definition of beauty, you'd think you'd be happy enough with your own appearance. A former beauty queen, Racheal undeniably ticks most of the boxes commonly used to define female beauty, but she hates the way she looks.
I started to look at myself a lot in the mirror and hate myself, and I used to beat myself up, and I used to punch myself in the face and like go pull my hair out, and sometimes I used to cut my legs, the tops of my legs, because I'd come to this point where I decided that I was overweight and I couldn't deal with it and I wanted to.
What, with a knife you used to cut them?
Yeah.
Or to try and cut flesh off?
Yeah.
To make your legs slimmer?
Yeah. It's just a constant voice in my head telling me I'm not good enough, and that would be with what I look like, with my designing, with anything I do. There's always a voice in my head saying you can't do it, you're not good enough, look at you, you're fat, you're horrible, you look different. And this is the biggest thing, is I feel that I look so different, and I still do. I feel like I look different to everybody else, and even to this day.
Racheal isn't being silly or vain. She's been diagnosed with Body Dysmorphic Disorder, or BDD.
All the parts of my face are not designed to go together. They're all wrong.
Just to help me understand if this isn't too threatening for you, if we look in this mirror here, when you looked at yourself, and it's still hard for you to look at yourself, isn't it?
I just see it now. It's just I just feel like if I point it out, everyone's going to see. It's just I always see it as like, not like other people's skin. Other people's skin's just smooth and nice, and my skin's always just bumpy or looks sort of covered in marks everywhere. You know, all the time, like red marks, like here and here and here. There's too much chin. I double chin down here. I don't want that.
I can't see a double chin.
There is here. Look.
That's called skin.
No, it's not. It's there. And my lips. I want like more. The shape of them is not quite right. They need to be fuller here.
BDD usually starts in adolescence, when normal-looking young people become convinced they're hideously ugly and spend hours searching in the mirror for imaginary flaws.
The only way I can describe it is you're trapped inside. You want to do so much and you have so many opportunities, but you're trapped in a prison that's not allowing you to do that.
And what was your prison?
My body. It was holding me back. My body and my face were holding me back from being able to do normal things and go out with my friends. When I used to leave my bedroom, if I couldn't have my makeup on, I'd have a face mask on all the time.
Did you wear a lot of makeup then?
If I had to try and go somewhere, even at night, I'd pack myself in, not just makeup, this isn't just makeup, this is, it was a disguise.
So when I say to you, you have an extremely beautiful face, if I got 50 people in this room, 50 people would say you have an extremely beautiful face. You say, you're lying, I don't believe you.
When I was,
are you an idiot? What are you?
When I was ill, I would have thought people were lying because they felt sorry for me. What it's making me see is reassurance all the time. You know, everything I do is just to try and seek the reassurance that other people aren't seeing what I'm seeing. You know, and it's like.
But does it help you that I'm saying to you you're beautiful, or does it hinder you? Does it actually set off the horrible voices again?
It used to make me mad when people used to say it to me. Inside, I used to think, don't patronise me, I know what I am and I can deal with that. And I hate to think that it sounds like vanity and it sounds like you're so vain that you can't leave the house, but it was something very serious to me.
How do these distorted self-images get fixed in such young minds? To what extent is it a product of being bombarded with images of supposed perfection, which we're obliged to conform to, as opposed to something else going on in the brain of sufferers? Researchers at the University of Los Angeles scanned the brains of people with BDD while showing them a range of facial types.
What we found so far is that there is a difference in how the brains are working in people with body dysmorphic disorder compared to controls. And so when they're processing faces, they're using primarily left-sided brain regions. And these left-sided brain regions are in an extended network that's used in visual processing that goes all the way from the occipital lobe, which is the visual processing lobe, all the way to other parts of the brain that are involved, like the temporal lobe and the frontal lobe. But this left-sided activation then is suggesting that they may be using more analytic and detail processing. So what this may mean is that people with body dysmorphic disorder, when they're looking at faces, their brains are picking out all the little details and putting together all the little pieces and details of the face and kind of losing the overall shape and configuration of it. And so what they're seeing is not so much like a hallucination. What they're seeing may just be that they're seeing the details of their face and they're not kind of putting it together as being overall it looks kind of normal.
Dr. Fusner's research helps us understand how BDD affects the brain, but it doesn't as yet offer a treatment. For that, people like Racheal have to rely on psychologists who can help them devise ways to cope with and to manage their distorted thinking. Typically, the sufferer is encouraged to confront the situations they fear most, such as going into public places, and to avoid the self-damaging behaviours they feel compelled to do, such as staring endlessly into mirrors or picking at their face.
I've learned to deal with it now because I know what I see in the mirror is an illusion.
Racheal now uses her model agency to raise awareness of the damage done by her condition. Her BDD is not cured, but she's learnt to live with it.
While it may be tempting to view Racheal as a beautiful but vain and attention-seeking young woman, clinical research into the working of the brain has helped us understand body dysmorphia as a genuine mental health problem, where obsessive and distorted thinking about your appearance can trigger behaviour that's both physically self-destructive and emotionally devastating.